Jeffrey?
Mr. Abel?
What's going on up there today?
Today is actually a stunner of a day here in the Napa Valley.
Then
Blue skies, slight breeze. I haven't seen this kind of sky in months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, then let's bang out this episode so that you can go out there and enjoy that stunner of a day.
Yeah.
I can't say the same thing. I'm here in Houston, Texas, which I'm sure is a lovely town. I am downtown, and I'm looking out at all the office buildings, and it feels like the architectural guy was going, this is going to be the easiest job in the whole world. It's going to be like Legos, right? It looks like, look, I'm sure it's a lovely town, right?
So they chose one guy?
Probably the same guy. Probably the same guy. I shouldn't say that. Anyway, I'm here for the 70 indoors. And it's kind of interesting what I want to talk to you about today. I've got a question for you. We've actually kind of chatted about this, but listening to a podcast a couple of weeks ago, and I made a note on something that was said, and I couldn't remember what or why I made the note until I started reading it to you and kind of figuring it out. But sometimes we have competing expectations when we go out to play a match, and you know, for me, I think there's two ways, and like this year, I'm down here because last year Dick Johnson and I won the doubles, and I got to the finals of the singles, and I actually had to retire in the finals singles last year. I was getting bronchitis all week, and by the end of the week, I was just like, should have been on a hospital bed, but I tried to go out there and kind of threw in a couple of first serves, and they went 1, 2, and you know, boom, and so I had to retire, but. So I've come back this year, and because you and I have been spending so much time on gold ball hunting, which has been just so much fun, it's been the greatest reason not to go out in the afternoons and do some training, but sit here in front of the computer and do stuff. I haven't trained as much this year as I did last year. I mean, last year I felt just tuned up. This year, not so much. So I come down here and I've got really low expectations in terms of what I'm going to be able to do in the tournament. You know, maybe I got more expectations in doubles and sort of thinking about singles as, well, maybe it'll be a good warm-up for the doubles, right? You never know. You never know. But so the first day I'm here, I see a guy and he says, oh, man, I watched you play last year. Fantastic. This is your year. I know that you're going to go get him this year in the finals. I'm going, no. I don't want my expectations, which are low, and his, which are...
Right.
You're going to get the gold ball. So there's kind of competing expectations. But the example I want to use is because one of the types of players that we're trying to help are those tournament players or even league players where you're up against an opponent who you've never played against before. You really don't know who they are. And you go ask somebody and you say, hey, you know, I'm playing Joe Blow over here, tomorrow. And they go, oh, come on, Jeff, you're going to kick this guy's butt. And you're going, oh, okay, all right. I'm serious, Jeff. You're going to beat this guy 0-0, love and love. So there's this external expectation that's been shoved on you.
Right.
And you all night long, you're going, I can't beat my passed away grandmother 0-0. And so you toss and turn all night. You have a lousy night's sleep. You get up and you go out and you play. You get out in the warm up. This guy's hitting the ball cleaner than a whistle.
Right.
And now this expectation that was heaped on you, now you've got a total different expectation.
Right.
How do you deal with that?
I got no idea. Why do you ask me these hard questions?
One for Brenny.
Yeah, I think that's really, as much as we talk about, game management, managing ourselves in between points and, match management and, all the external things too that we do to prepare for a tournament and all that. And then, like yesterday, you walk in the gates of the club, you're feeling good. It's like, hey, second day here, I'm going to get a hit in, going to get used to the lights and blah, blah, blah. And then bam.
Where's that?
Brenny, listen, I've already bought my ticket front row to the finals.
Right.
I've ordered my box lunch already, and I'm really looking forward to it.
But in the meantime, here's the 30-pound gunny sack of sand I'm going to put on your shoulder. So have fun this week.
Yeah, so have a good time.
Right.
So, and so isn't, for me, it's like really understanding like how much importance we put on the external opinion, right, of my fellow players, maybe my doubles partner, or the guys that if you've won a few tournaments and that kind of thing, there's an expectation from the general tennis population in your age group as well, that when you're at a tournament, there's an expectation of performance. But the management part of it is really, this is where ego, pride starts to really creep in, and how much weight am I actually going to give that comment? How much weight are you actually going to give that comment that guy made to you yesterday? And he made it with all honesty, and he meant something good behind it, I'm sure, right? Because he sees you as a top player. You lost in the finals last year. You were number one in the 70s last year, right? So he respects you as a player, and he also obviously enjoys seeing you play, right? So I'm sure it was said with nothing but good intentions.
Other than it's just total malice. He's just going, I can't stand that Abel guy. I can't wait for him to lose in the first round. I'm going to really build him up and just make him,
Yeah. Turns out, he's got the voodoo doll and he's poking pins in it, right?
That's right. Ow! By the way, ouch.
I find for me, that part of it is, when I prep for a tournament now, because we know when you go play the nationals, there is a core group of players that move around tournament to tournament within your age group. And then there's the guys that dabble, and then there's guys that are surprises, and then there's names that you haven't heard from in 30 years that used to play ball, and then all of a sudden you see their name, and they're a good baller because you know their history.
Right.
But I think for me, what I do to help like squelch those comments is before the tournament, I look at see who's signing up and who these guys are, because I don't know a lot of them, right? I played primarily West Coast tennis, played college ball, yes, played US and played the tour, but there's so many guys that played such Division I ball that were in Florida, that were in Texas, that were somewhere else that we never crossed paths. I don't know their name, I don't know who they are, I got no idea what their street cred is, what their history is. So I like to look and click on names and kind of see what their record is this year. Have they played this year? Have they not? And then I'll look to see what tournaments they played and kind of get just a baseline like, okay, this guy's a baller. So I already have it in my head that looking, and then when the draw comes out, I prepare myself. Then, you know what? I'm going to have to, haul the freight from the very first round, because I can see this guy, and maybe the guy, comes out there and I don't know that he's, 30 pounds overweight and he hasn't been taking care and whatever. And that's a great bonus if that happens. But for me, that's how I kind of manage that. So when I get to the tournament and someone says, oh, listen, you got Rick now, first round, I saw you got that guy easy, like no problem. And I know that, Rick's a decent baller and blah, blah, blah. I mean, and the other part of it is that, I told the story about the guy I played in Mission Hills years ago, first round, 6-0, 6-1. He made the comment to me that it was okay that he won a game. And I said, listen, if I don't respect you as a player and give you my best, then I'm not getting any better, neither are you. So I've already adapted. When I came back to the game in 2012 and started playing the 50s, I kind of made some big mental shifts in that anyway, and just decided that I got to get on the court. I got to get the job done as quick as possible, because I don't know if I'm going to pull a hammy or something.
Yeah, right.
And get it done, respect the guy across the net, get the job done as quick as possible, and move on. So for me, it became a full mindset to help navigate those waters and not allow that comment like you got yesterday to be this overarching, oh my gosh, what are the guys going to think? What's everybody going to think?
Yeah, well, the comment that I got a couple of days ago, if it had been 10 years ago, might have had a different response from me.
Right.
Now I'm just kind of so comfortable with Look, it's real. I mean, I don't care what someone says. It's never a guarantee.
No,
You could go out there and have the worst day you've ever had, and the guy has the greatest day, and the next thing you know is you're in a dogfight, and you don't win the dogfight,
right.
and so it just happens, right? And I think too often what happens is we get told by someone, "Oh, you got this guy," and it's kind of like, oh man, I just hope. Okay, then I hope the guy just kind of gives me the match, right? I hope I don't have to
No,
do too much because I don't really trust that I can actually beat a guy that I'm being told that I can beat easily.
right.
So I guess the whole point of this episode today is that you got to be able to manage the competing expectations. You got your own internally, and then you've got you've got external expectations. And we had a little chat the other day about league tennis, and is it really good for you in terms of improving your game? And we can have competing expectations from teammates
Oh my gosh,
who
yes.
are saying, hey Jeff, man, we really need this match.
Right.
Okay.
I
What do you,
think that's a great part of this discussion is I don't think that a lot of league players understand the damage they do in the type of support they think they're giving and the type of intel they think they're giving when they're asked, like, hey, have you played this guy I'm going to play? Oh yeah, and all of a sudden the conversation is really about the emotional conflicts this guy had with the guy and really not about the guy's tennis. And so your expectation now has now morphed into this guy's problem he had with the player you're about to play. So now you go out there with this expectation that maybe this guy's kind of a jerk or something, and maybe the whole thing was the guy on your team
was
really the guy that created the conflict, right? But not from his perspective.
right.
So now you've gone out there, and this guy's the sweetest guy in the world, and you play great matches, and so I've had that happen in my career where certain guys had reputations, and other guys had lots of problems with them, and I played those guys, and we had just great matches, no bullshit, excuse me, but no crap, and we just let it out and had great matches, great respect. And there was no issue. But I think so that's an interesting part of this as well, is understanding as a team player in league tennis. I think you need to check yourself. What kind of intel and what kind of support are you giving, and what do you think you're giving, and are you actually delivering that?
And I do think there are a lot of players or teammates who want to feel like they're sort of instrumental with their teammates or their friends' victory by telling them, "See, I told you." Yeah, see,
Yeah.
see, and
Right.
and look, we're not professional tour coaches. I mean, trying to figure out and someone else who's a 3-5 or a 4-0. I mean, how unpredictable can you get, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so I would
Basic
caution
strategy.
everyone.
Yeah.
I would
Basic strategy. And go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I would caution everyone. First of all, don't take a ton of advice too strongly, right? In terms of
Right.
someone's telling you the result before you've even played the match. I guess that's not even advice. That's just stuff. That's just.
Yeah.
So, and that's an expectation that someone's putting you on, and I would caution you not to do the same thing. When I like it when someone tells me, "Oh, you're playing so and so," yeah, guy can play, and you go out there and you just drum this guy 1-1 because
Right.
because your senses are heightened. You're not tight, but your senses are
No.
heightened. I gotta get the picture real sharp, real clear, and I gotta bring it
Yeah.
to the guy. And the next thing you know is you've won the first set 6-1, and you're kind of going, all right, well maybe I'm just not seeing the stuff that the other guy said he's got, so I got to keep going.
Right.
And you shake hands at 1-1, and the guy, you walk off the court and you go, thank God the guy didn't say, oh well, you'll just beat this guy 1-1 all day long.
Right.
So anyway, speaking of
Yeah.
expectations, I got to get over to the club here. I got to hit some balls. I hit for literally 10 minutes before our first coaching webinar today. We were waiting for one of the courts to open up, and we finally ran out there. I said, fellas, I got to go. So I'm going to go back to the club, hit some balls. And guys, thanks for hanging out with us today. Hope you got a little nugget or two from this light chat about competing expectations. A couple things we want you to do. Number one is we're still offering a free complimentary on the house, on us, won't cost you a thing, no charge, 10-minute coaching call with me and Jeff. It's a private call, three-way call. We get in the phone and we talk about the one thing in your game right now. It's a struggle you can't figure out. It's something going on that, man, if you could just turn the key and open the door and walk through, there'd be this big light shining on you and your game would become great. So we want to help put you on the path to help solving that problem. The way you do that is if you're not on our email list, just go over to goalballhunting.com, drop in your first name and email address, and then you'll get access to our online calendar scheduler where you can cherry pick your own day and time that works best for you, and we'll set up that call. And then the other thing, Jeffrey, I think at this point we would like the folks to do something for us. We've been giving.
Yeah.
We want a little back.
Yeah, this is our selfish moment. Please like us, share us, please subscribe, and leave a comment below.
All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Get out there today, wherever you are, making a spectacular day. Is it okay if we do this again tomorrow, Jeff?
I'm looking forward to it.
All right, man.